to the inside.
20 out of 25 today, 2 touchdowns, no picks. He's pressured, he's got a ton of room. There goes Josh Allen through the snow into the end zone. Touchdown Bills, 40 yards.
Well, there's quarterback rush lanes, and then there's this. Josh Allen hits the top of his drop, and just watch this lane just completely open. Great job there by Deion Dawkins. Taking the inside rusher, leaves the widest guy for the quarterback. And when you have an athlete like Josh Allen playing the quarterback position, it doesn't have to always be perfect.
There was more than a snow blower. Clear the path right there. They had one of those big snow plows. It was an industrial snow plow. His extra point wobbles through. Well, they had to be quick, and they were. 68 yards in a minute 11. Josh Allen with a 40-yard touchdown run. The Bills far from finished. That's the longest rushing touchdown of Josh Allen's career, and it keeps the Bills in this game 28-25 with 7.5 left.
Yeah, so watch Deion Dawkins right here, the left tackle, back from injury. This is what they call empty protection. So you only have 5 offensive linemen. So he knows if both Burks and Johnson both rush, Johnson belongs to the quarterback, and he will take the inside rusher. So Josh Allen understands who's he's responsible for, and the big left tackle, Dawkins, he knows. And no one in Cincinnati even knew who had the ball in the back end. And Joe Brady said, all right, that's about as easy as it gets.
That's how we drew it up, right?
Exactly right.
We drop back, everybody else run out of the way, and Josh, you just run to the end zone.
Is this game awesome?
So good.
Gosh, this is so good.
28-25, Bengals in front. Charlie Jones from the 10 for Cincinnati. He was met at the 30-yard line. Reggie Gilliam, the fullback, getting involved on special teams, and Joe Burrow goes back to work. He said it took him some time to shake off the rust in the first half. In his return against Baltimore, he said, I was pretty lights out in the second half, and he's kept that going today. 20 out of 28, 3 touchdowns.
And it's really just continues to be his work on third down. 9 of 11. Just a ridiculous number against the defense that coming into the game was among the best pass defensive teams in the entire league, being the Bills.
Not supposed to be able to miss that much time, 2.5 months, and come back and look this good so quickly. Fake and a throw, and there's Noah Fant. His first catch. He's getting all his tight ends involved. I'm sure you're okay with that.
Hey, when I call games, tight ends have good days. That's kind of the way it's worked over the years, and there's a lot of really good tight ends in this game. And what I think's so cool about both the rooms, Joe, both for the Bengals and the Bills, is maybe not the star, maybe not the George Kittle or the Brock Bowers of the world, but just depth. They play with multiple tight ends. Each guy has kind of their own flavor that they bring to the offense, and getting them all involved.
Fan over from Seattle. His first season with Cincinnati. First down and 10, close to midfield. Here's Chase Brown, spun away from the first man, got a couple. Finished off by Maxwell Hairston. 6:40 and counting in a 3-point game. Burrow needs a new helmet.
Interesting. I have to wonder, is he having some issues with the communication? Or
28-25 game at Highmark Stadium. One of the final times in this place. The new Highmark Stadium rising up across the parking lot. Over the middle, Chase plucked it out of the air, stayed on his feet, and got a first down. Jamar Chase, there is a flag down as he gets 16 yards. One catch in the first half. Chase with his 4th of the second half.
Illegal use of hands to the face. Defense number 99. That penalty is declined. Result of the play, first down.
Larry Ogunjobi, the former Bengal, called for the penalty.
Jordan Poyer, he thought he saw this route coming. Gesicki goes vertical, and Jamar Chase just uses running through his wake, and Poyer's trying to knock the ball out and can't secure the tackle.
Strong hands again from Chase, who moves over 1,000 yards for the 5th time in as many seasons in the NFL. Joins Randy Moss, A.J. Green, Mike Evans, his old LSU teammate Justin Jefferson, the only guys ever to do that. 5 out of 5 reaching 1,000. From the 33.
Oh my goodness! Look out here! Christian Benford gift wrapped the other way! Touchdown! What just happened? 67 yards!
Christmas comes early for Christian Benford and the Buffalo Bills, who lead this game for the first time.
I just don't think Joe Burrow got a good handle on the ball. It was one of those run alerts where the entire team is running a run play, and he sees Benford come off the slot on pressure, and he's just trying to throw it over his head. Just don't think he got a good grip on the ball, and throws it right into his face.
Second game in a row with a touchdown for Christian Benford on defense. Look at his eyes are big. Even he's saying, whoa. First time that Joe Burrow's been intercepted all year. And he may not throw another one like that ever.
Buffalo, their second. It's a 30-second timeout.
Timeout taken by the Bills here.
Yeah, so you see Benford, he just comes off the slot, and Joe Burrow saying, okay, I'll just throw into that space. I'll just tag it. You don't want Benford coming off the edge, creating a lost yardage play. So again, everyone here is just running. He just kind of shot puts it, and then he just can't secure the tackle, and that's about as easy as a pick six Christian Benford's going to have during his entire career.
My, oh my, the Bills have taken the lead as Christian Benford finds the end zone. Prater pokes through the extra point, and it's 32-28 Buffalo. Well, some massive turnovers in this game. We welcome those of you that are joining us from Minnesota, Roland, Washington. Much different story in this game. It's been tight. It's been tense. Really high-level quarterback play on both sides. This last play notwithstanding. Christian Benford, after a scoop and score touchdown last week, on a corner blitz, on a DB blitz, gets an interception and takes it back for the touchdown.
And this Bills defense, they love blitzing, especially to the short side of the field. Those are run blitzes. They're trying to create negative plays in the run game with their secondary. And Zach Taylor looks on and says, man, my quarterback has been so good all day, and just makes a mistake.
Boy, 2 turnovers that have resulted in 7 points one way or the other, right? You had James Cook fumbling at the goal line, didn't score. It was a touchback, and now this turnover directly to 6 the other way.
I'll tell you one thing that we know about Joe Burrow.
He ain't phased.
He's going to come out this next possession, and he's going to let it rip. That is going to have no impact on him going forward.
Short one here. Charlie Jones. Charlie Jones taken down. Jordan Hancock with the tackle there on special teams. And here he comes. Cool Joe, going to need to be just that. He never looks rattled. If you happen to just join us, you have missed a thriller of a ball game. You got the top 2 quarterbacks perhaps in the league right now going head-to-head, and they've both delivered.
They've been incredible. Third downs, high-level scramble play. This is quarterback play, to your point, other than the last play. The rest of the game is about as good a quarterback play as you can have on both sides of the ball, and it just feels a one-score game with one of these quarterbacks is the way it should be.
Burrow has it hit at the line and picked again. Lightning strikes twice for Buffalo. A.J. Epenesa gets this one.
All right, we got to stop saying good quarterback play. Forget it. It's just the last 2 plays are an absolute nightmare for Cincinnati, and the Buffalo defense that early on today, we weren't sure if they were going to get a stop. with the way Cincinnati went up and down the field, these last two plays resulting in takeaways have completely shifted this game.
Epenesa, the interception after Jordan Phillips, the 11-year veteran, got his hand on it. And Joe Burrow, who had not been intercepted all year, gets picked off on back-to-back plays.
All right, so now Cincinnati's defense, they've got to step up. They've got to find a way to force a field goal here. 7-point game and get the ball back to Joe Burrow. With 5 minutes to go, getting this thing to double digits seems tough.
James Cook. Close to a first down inside the 20. There is a flag, though. There's a flag back at the 25-yard line. There's a couple Bengals slow to get
number
up.
74. 10-yard penalty. First down.
A rough day for Ryan Vandermark continues. He's called for the penalty. And an injured Bengal. They come out to take a look at him. 5:03 left to go in this ball game. We're going to take a break. Now, prior to his last two pass attempts, Joe Burrow in his career against the Bills, 7 touchdowns, no picks, and now 2 interceptions, back-to-back plays as this game has shifted in a hurry. It had been all Bengals. They had led from the start. Josh Allen with the longest run of his career, 40-yard touchdown right there to get him to within a score. And then Christian Benford, a 67-yard pick six. Although you need to watch the clip of that to really understand what that pick six looked like. The next play, a tipped ball and an interception for A.J. Epenesa. So the Bills have it, leading this game for the first time. 5:03 left, and Burrow hoping for another shot over on that Bengals sideline. Huge game for both these teams. Bengals trying to keep their playoff hopes alive. Bills trying to solidify their standing. Allen given time. He's got his tight end, Dawson Knox, having his biggest game. Dawson Knox makes it first and goal. 31 yards for Knox.
And it's just Joe Brady going into his bag. You go post, wheel, and then a tight end delay drag route. It's just so hard. Look, they're going to send James Cook all the way through the line of scrimmage. So he takes that flat defender, and then they just replace him with the tight end Knox, and just a ton of green grass. It's just a great call coming out of the break there by Joe Brady.
How about 93 yards today for Dawson Knox, who came into the game just a little over 200 for the year. First down and goal for the Bills. Hand it off. Cook, both hands over the ball as he trips inside the 5, and it's second down. James Cook as productive as any running back in the NFL, but if you happen to just tune in, fumbles have been an issue. 2 of them today, 4 of them the last 2 weeks. And you know the Bengals are going to be ripping at it.
Yeah, you have to imagine now, Joe Brady and Sean McDermott just saying, all right, last time we were down here on the doorstep of the goal line, he fumbles. I think I'm getting in the gun. I'm putting the ball in Josh Allen's hand here if they get down to the 1 or 2 yard line.
Only receiver here, Gabe Davis to the top, one-on-one. Second and goal. It's Cook again. James Cook. Got stopped by Geno Stone, who's the injured player a moment ago. So Stone's back in there making a tackle. Third and goal, and a timeout taken by the Bengals. With 3:15 on the clock, one of them left for Zach Taylor. James Cook now 77 yards on the day, having a career year. Third consecutive 1,000-yard season. Not just the yards, but the volume now. Only Christian McCaffrey has carried the ball more than James Cook has this season. And of course, Warren Buffalo's got to be cooking wings, huh?
No doubt. Now, I'll be real curious here. You know, if you're James Cook, you're in that huddle and you're saying, man, give me another shot. What is it? I promise I'm not going to reach the ball for the goal line, but let me finish this thing off. Be curious whether they get under center and take the Josh Allen run off the table, or what we've seen over the years is keep him in gun and keep him alive.
You got your 2 plays here, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think, oh man, you know how I feel. I'm going to try to put a knockout shot anytime I can. You get 2 downs here to make this a 2-score game. I think you take it. a lot's going to determine how this third down goes and how close they get.
All the big bodies are in there. They're going to boot Allen. Looking end zone for Knox. Taken away. Takes it himself. Throws last minute for Knox. And a touchdown. Dawson Knox. His career day continues. He's got a touchdown. Was he in bounds and did he hang on?
So you see the Bengals defenders, they're giving the sign that they believe he juggled it. Let's take a look here. Oh, he definitely juggles it. That's an incomplete pass, and they'll fix this real quick, and it'll bring up 4th and goal.
You got the kick team out there for the extra point, and you're going to need to decide whether to keep him out there to kick a field goal or pull him off and send the offense to the field for what would be a 4th down try.
It's an incomplete pass.
Get it right very quickly.
Yeah, I think I'm going. 4th and goal. You're at the 3-yard line. You've got one of the best red zone threats at quarterback in NFL history. You mentioned you just broke Cam's record, most rushing touchdowns from the quarterback position, and I think either way, you know, it's a touchdown game now with a 4-point lead. A field goal makes it a touchdown game anyway. So all you're doing is introducing a touchdown could still beat you. I'm going for it here, trying to make it a double-digit game and saying I don't know if Joe Burrow has enough time left to have multiple possessions. So I'm with Sean McDermott. Going for it here.
All right, so here we go. 4th down and goal. Allen has thrown for 2. He's run for 1 today. Out of the I formation. He looks to throw. He pumps. He throws. He's got a touchdown. He's got Jackson Hawes.
Just no pass rush whatsoever. We got snow angels in the end zone. Cincinnati does a great job defending the initial pass scheme. Just, you got all day. So watch Jackson Hawes. He comes across. He's right here. He's initially a blocker, but look how long he has. Now he just sneaks out, and he's unaccounted for.
And the rookie out of Georgia Tech, who's been vital in the run game as they've leaned on that in recent weeks, has his 3rd touchdown. And the Bills, after trailing this whole game with 2 takeaways to turn the tide, now lead by 2 scores. It's been completely flipped upside down.
It's unbelievable, and it all just starts with the amount of time that Josh Allen has. Take a look here. Cincinnati does a really good job. They're trying to get a little mesh. They're trying to get a bunch of crossers. They do a good job passing it off. They just don't account for Hawes, who initially is in the pass protection, leaking out late. And Sean McDermott's like, that's why you go for it on 4th down, and you make it an 11-point game. Barring something crazy here, Cincinnati only has 1 timeout and the 2-minute warning, so they can only stop the clock here 2 more times.
All smiles up there with Joe Brady. And this offense has done what it's needed to. They've been heavy with a run game in recent weeks, but turning it to the reigning MVP today, saying, go do it for us, Josh Allen. 22 out of 28, more pass than run in this game. And the Bills have scored 21 unanswered over the last 4:30.
I just love that aggressive approach. You want to win these kind of games, you've said it a couple times. This feels like a playoff matchup, playoff energy, a lot on the line for both teams. And you kick a field goal there and you go up 7, it's a lot easier standing at the podium. And that really drives a lot of decision-making for coaches. It's hard to be aggressive in those critical moments, knowing you face the music if it goes wrong.
Charlie Jones from the 5. Bills have done a good job covering his returns today. Almost slipped through there. He's lassoed down at the 33. So with 2:57 left, Joe Burrow had been so good all day, but back-to-back throws get intercepted. And he's going to need some kind of magic here to not just keep this game alive, but to keep the Bengals' faint playoff hopes going. 2 games back of Pittsburgh and Baltimore coming into the day. Looks like Pittsburgh with a 5-point lead over the Ravens at this point, late in Baltimore. It doesn't matter what happens there if the Bengals can't find a way to pull off a late miracle here. Burrow for Gesicki. Perfect strike and a one-handed catch. Gesicki right down the chute gets 36 yards.
And that's huge because as this clock continues to tick, ideally you'd love to get a score on the plus side of the 2 minute. Give yourself 2 opportunities to stop the clock. So scoring fast here is big.
Underneath this time, same target. Gesicki racing for the sideline, and he'll get there. Gesicki, who's got a touchdown today, a couple more quick catches here. 5 total for the day. 2nd and 6, 2:25.
Probably something we don't give enough time and conversation around is the ability to maintain your timeouts for these moments. Cincinnati had to burn their first timeout because they couldn't get lined up, got low on the play clock, and then used their second timeout there on defense. You'd love to have 2 timeouts remaining.
Burrow pressured by Rousseau. He's got Brown in the end zone. He couldn't hang on. Cam Lewis, if they've gone after a few times today, was able to jar it loose. 3rd and 6.
That was a great ball. I mean, he drops this thing in the bucket. Down 11 here. Save your season. You just got to make that catch. Saw him make a great catch for a touchdown on the pylon in the first half, and would have had himself another one there. Just can't quite hang on.
9 out of 11 on 3rd down in this game. You need more than just a 3rd down conversion, though, quickly. Down 2 scores. Into the blitz. Wants T. Higgins. He's got him. Higgins fights through contact for the touchdown. 2nd one of the day, and T. Higgins returned from the injury. He catch that thing with one hand. I mean, he had Tre'Davious White all over him and still made it look easy.
All right, watch pre-snap. You see just kind of alerts to it. He looked at T. Higgins. He saw something pre-snap that he liked and just said, hey, go run right by him. You see Tre'Davious White. He's kind of waiting at the sticks, thinking it's going to come out fast. And now Cincinnati's going to elect to go for 2 here. Try to make this thing a 3-point game.
With 2:13 left, the 2-minute warning and 1 timeout. Burrow hopping around. Lost the ball. And a failed 2-point conversion this time. So it remains a 5-point game as the Buffalo defense gets the stop on this 2-point conversion. A.J. Epenesa recovering the Burrow fumble.
Yeah, so big stop there clearly. Now keeps this as a touchdown game. Well defended. Right there, I thought Burrow was thinking he was going to get up there and try to take it in himself. Ends up running into his own guy, and ball gets knocked loose.
So 39-34. Bengals had led this entire game until early on in the 4th quarter when it swung in a hurry. 21 unanswered for the Bills over a 4-minute span. And outside of 2 passes, back-to-back passes, Burrow's been awesome. But those back-to-back throws critical. One of them a pick 6 for Christian Benford on a corner blitz where he just jumped up and picked it off. And took it back 67 yards. The next pass intercepted as well. Josh Allen just kind of lurking there, playing a steady game, but has made some big plays for him here in the 2nd half.
All right, so let's talk through this final 2 minutes and 13 seconds. The Bengals have elected not to onside kick. Remember, at the end of the game, they would take the return unit. It would look more of like a traditional kickoff that we're accustomed to, but they're going to elect to kick this deep. Think back, we said you want to score your first score on top plus side of the 2 minute. They can now stop the clock 2 times, a timeout, a 2 minute. And what they don't want to do is onside kick. If they do force a stop, it's a much longer field position game, knowing they need a touchdown.
Ray Davis on the return to the 30. Now, Josh Allen last week, just 123 yards, was his lowest total in 2 years, but today 251 yards and 3 touchdowns. He's also had his longest rushing touchdown of his career, 40 yards. Spread the ball around. He has made plays whenever they've needed him.
Tell you what, whether it's been with his legs, whether it's been as a scramble runner, a scramble passer, or just an in-rhythm pocket passer, he's been absolutely incredible this entire game.
4 more touchdowns total today, 34 for the year. Right there with Matthew Stafford, the NFL leaders. Handoff for James Cook. 3 yards. And the 2-minute warning. On the other side of it, Bengals will have 1 timeout. Bills looking for 1 first down to seal the deal. Well, snow falling. This has been Buffalo's time of year, trying to win a 12th consecutive December or January home game and trying to do it in comeback fashion today.
I think one of these next 2 downs, I'm not afraid to play action, keep the ball in Josh Allen's hand.
That's what they'll do right here on 2nd down. Look out, he gets sacked, and he's lucky to hang on to the ball.
Yeah, I think he's better off taking that than trying to throw it away. Right now, it's about the clock. Of course, you want to get a first down, but he throws that ball away while in the grasp. Cincinnati can save their final timeout.
Osai got there, Slayton was there, and then Geno Stone out of the secondary, and there is Cincinnati's last timeout with 1:54, and it's 3rd down and 15.
I don't hate the play action. I think kind of what I had in mind was those plays we've seen him run a lot today where he gets out on the perimeter and he's got guys in the flat, he's got late trailers, and then of course if nothing's there, he becomes the outlet, stay in bounds, get yardage, and get down. The play action in the pocket, his ability to improvise on the run is not quite as strong as it is outside the tackle box.
What are you doing here? Are you going to drain the clock, run the ball?
Yeah, 3rd and real long. I'm just going to say, okay, I'm going to try to take as much time off this clock as humanly possible. 3rd and 15, your odds of picking this up aren't great. If it is a pass, something underneath, rely on yards after catch.
They will throw. Allen dances and runs, and Josh Allen looking for the knockout blow. High steps his way to it. Josh Allen put him on his back today. 18 yards to seal the deal on another snowy December Buffalo win.
Feels like the perfect ending to the game we just watched. He's trying to just throw the ball to Ty Johnson in the flat. But again, there's just nobody at the second level with eyes on Josh Allen. You cannot rely on your defensive front to contain him. 3rd and 15, your off-ball linebackers have to be your run and chase, and there's just nobody home.
And if you're the Bengals, you're sitting there saying our season hanging by threads, still with a chance. We're about to give the ball back to Joe Burrow, and Josh Allen on 3rd and 15 runs for a first down.
I mean, let's go back. We came onto the broadcast. We talked about this new look Buffalo Bills and the run game and James Cook, and all of that remains true. But in the critical moments, the ultimate ace in the hole is having quarterbacks like Josh Allen behind center, because when most teams are just going to walk out of this stadium and say we're going to rely on our defense, critical moments of the game, the ball is going to continue to be in his hands.
And as good as any quarterback in a long time, Josh Allen, you don't know how many chances you're going to get with him in his prime, and enough pieces around him to win the whole thing. And the Bills' first step, they just got to get in. And that was not a sure thing coming into the day. Sitting at 8-4 in the last playoff spot, but solidified that standing a little bit. Seeking their first Super Bowl trip since the early 90s, and those 4 in a row, and of course hungry for their first Lombardi trophy ever. I think they've got the guy to bring it here in Josh Allen. 39-34. He and the defense orchestrate the comeback win today. Kurt Menefee in Los Angeles has it for the State Farm Game Break.